Hello and welcome to another video from Truckers World. Hope you're all good out there. Not too bad this side. Coming up to probably the busiest period this week. I think where I'm at is probably the busiest week. So all being well, I'll be okay. But I am prepared for how busy it will be. So today's video, straight to it. It's going to be an insight into Class 1 shunting. Now, obviously, you probably are aware that I do not have a Class 1 licence as of yet. I am working on that. I'll keep you updated. However, a very close friend of mine who works with me is a Class 1, and he's been doing Class 1 shunting for the firm I work for a good week now. He's gone back to doing Class 2, which might be a bit of a hint on how he feels about it. But I've asked him loads of questions, and he's given me quite a good insight into it. So I'd like to share this with you. So this Class 1 work, and it is for a very reputable blue chip company, as they say. Okay, so they've got a big facility where they shunt many Class 1 vehicles around. It's within a courier firm. You might have guessed it, but that's who it's for. So let's first of all get down to it. And let's start on the pros first, okay? Let's be quite positive. So, first of all, he was doing a 10-hour shift. Now, that's a pro or a con, depending whether you like 8-hour shift or 10-hour shift. But yeah, where he was, straight 10-hour shift, okay? One good con about it is you're going to be finishing on time. Unless you're going to be struggling getting a really kind of trailer in. You know, you might be struggling getting in, getting out. You know, I'm just thinking really outside the box here. But to be honest, I think most times you're going to be finished on time. So if you're doing a 10-hour shift, 6 till 4, you know you're going to be finished at 4 o'clock. And within our industry, you know, there's very few jobs out there where you can almost say for certainty that you're going to be finished for 4. It's as simple as that. You're not going to encounter any traffic on the road. So chances are you're going to be finished on time. So I think that's quite a pro. You're not going to have the hassle of finding your deliveries. You know, so, and also finding the point of entry of your deliveries, obviously waiting times, all those things that you do as a lorry driver that can add on to your day, can be a little bit frustrating at times. You don't have to worry about that. So it is mostly a no hassle job when it comes to that side of things. So I think that's quite a good pro, to be honest. You know, many of you drivers out there and new drivers will certainly confirm just how difficult certain deliveries can be, and obviously the hassle which can be caused with that, you know. So yeah, I would say it's a no hassle kind of a role on the whole. Okay, there are hassles with it, but not as many, you know, I would say. Anyway, you know your job, okay? So once you've done it a few times, you're going to know it almost like the back of your hand, you know. You've had maybe a bit of a difficulty reversing. You're soon going to get to grips with that. You know, you're going to be reversing into bays where he was doing it. Obviously certain shunters might have different things where they shunt around areas, may not necessarily be into bays, so just be aware of that. But on his, he was into bays, you know, found it a little bit, you know, difficult at first, but within a few goes he got it, and Bob's your uncle. Nice and easy, you know your job, and you can do it almost blindfolded at times. Also as well, another good pro, obviously his wage went up from Class 2 to Class 1, but also from what I've seen, it is a decent wage. You know, it's not like you're going down in your money. You know, Class 1 shunters, I've looked at, you know, 38 into the 40s, you know, a year. So it's not that bad. It's a decent wage for shunting. It's not too bad at all. So they're the pros. Might be a couple more that I've not said out there, but those are ones that he's mentioned to me. Okay, now the cons. So, first of all, I didn't expect this answer when he said how hard it was. He said it was hard work. And I couldn't, really hard work? I couldn't imagine that. Anyway, he said his arms were killing him. And he told me that it was because he was constantly winding the legs down. Winding the legs up, winding the legs down, pulling the airlines in, plugging them in, plugging them out. His arms were hurting the next day. For a couple of days, he was saying it was really quite difficult, you know, quite a bit of a graft when you're doing that constantly. And he told me he shunted within a 10-hour period. The company he was working for was about 40 trailers he moved. He said around that mark, 40 trailers. So that's quite a lot of hard work. You know, you can't just relax, sit back and enjoy it on the motorway as sometimes we do. You know, nice A roads, You're getting in, you're getting out, you're doing a bit of manual labour there, so hard work on the arms, that's a con. 40 trailers, you know, maybe that's good, maybe that's bad. I'm not an experienced shunter, but that's what he said. Next one. I think he told me that after a while it was a little bit boring. You're doing the same thing, you know, very much repetition, and you might not be able to have the radio on as much, if you know what I mean. You know, you're constantly getting in, getting out. He found it a little bit boring. That's what he told me. Okay, brakes. He told me he had a difficult time having brakes. Now, I'm not sure if you're on the tacho. I actually got to ask him that. I'm not sure if you're on the tacho when you're doing that kind of a job. But brakes-wise, he said he struggled to get a brake because he was constantly being asked, right, can you move that trailer to this trailer, that trailer, go there, go there. He told me he was really struggling to find time for a brake. So that was maybe another con. Maybe a small one, because I'm pretty sure that if you put your foot down and you say, look, I've been doing this for 3 hours now, I need a break, then I'm pretty sure you'll get one. But it's just to let you know anyway. Within the area where we were working at, normally there's a huge amount of space, but this time of year it's really busy. So another con that he's mentioned to me was sometimes it can be quite a tight space where you're reversing into. You know, if you're pulling round the yard, you're going to get into position, but then there's 2 trailers in front of you, parked double up. You know, it doesn't give you much room for manoeuvre. So he said a couple of times he was in some tight situations, a little bit frustrating, a little bit difficult trying to get in the spot that he was meant to be in. So that was potentially another con as well. One final one, which he did mention, not in these type of words, but it almost kind of mirrored what I kind of thought about it as well, is that it does take away what we like about lorry driving. You know, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I like to be out there, have the freedom of the road, kick back, relax. I can listen to the radio, I can put something on my phone and listen to it. I've had Only Feels and Horses on my phone. I've seen those episodes numerous times. I don't watch it. It's impossible to watch, but I can listen to it and it relaxes you. You know, with that kind of thing, it's not easy. You know, you are constantly concentrating on when you're reversing, on both your mirrors. You know, you've got to be careful. You know, you're not getting much time to kick back in your job and relax and just, you know, go with it, if you know what I mean by that. So he said it took a lot away from your lorry driving. You know, and you wasn't always in the same cab all day. You know, a few times you had to change cabs. You know, so if you've got something in your bag that you might want to munch on when you're stopping or whatever you do, you know, unless you carry your rucksack around with you, you know, you might be struggling to have something to drink or eat on, you know, when you're swapping around cabs. Wasn't always that way, but there were a few times in the day where you would have to swap over cabs and then move over to a new one and so on and so forth. So he did say that it took a little bit out of the job itself. Overall, though, he said it was a great experience, you know, and there is something to be said about being able to finish on time and know your job. You know, going to work, you're not stressing where you're going to be going today. Oh, where am I going to be going? Or where can I get into this? Can I get into that? All those little extra bits which can put a little bit of pressure on us drivers. You know, you don't have to worry about that when you're doing shunting. You know, you whack up your wagon, airlines in, legs, you know. So it does take a little bit of stress out of the job. But anyway, there are my pros and cons about Class 1 shunting. That's straight from the horse's mouth. A friend of mine has just done a week on shunting. He's given me all that information. I think it's quite a lot there to think about. You know, shunters out there, you know, the guys I work with, they've been in the job for years. They love it. They accept it. Great. Some drivers might not like that kind of thing. It totally depends on the individual. For me, having heard all that, I think if it was for me, it's only me personally, I think I might get a little bit bored of it. You know, I just don't feel, I feel I might be a bit rushed. I like to be able to kick back in my wagon and enjoy driving. That's why I do it. So I think maybe after a while I'll get a little bit bored, but it might swing both ways, you never know. Anyway, hope you like this video. Keep subscribing, loads more videos to come. I'll try and get another 1 or 2 on this week. Next week I will be off for a week, and then obviously it's Christmas period, but yeah. Great to have the likes, great to have the subscribers. Hope you all have a great Christmas out there, and I'll see you soon. So stay safe, keep on trucking. Thank you.